The Forgotten Gods of Ancient Mesopotamia. Stories of Enlil, Enki, and the Sumerian Pantheon. Close your eyes now, if you wish. Let your body settle into stillness. Take a slow, deep breath in, and gently release it. Tonight, we journey together to a land of ancient rivers and eternal sands. To the cradle of civilization itself, where the first gods were given names, and the first stories were written in clay. Imagine yourself standing beneath a vast night sky, thousands of years ago. The air is warm and dry. The stars above you are countless, shimmering like scattered gold. Before you stretches the fertile land between two great rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates. This is Mesopotamia. This is where our story begins. The people who lived here, the Sumerians, looked up at those same stars and wondered about their place in the universe. They built great cities of mud brick and towering temples called ziggurats that reached toward the heavens. And in their hearts, they held a beautiful, complex understanding of the divine. They believed that gods walked among the rivers, lived in the mountains, and breathed through the wind. Every aspect of nature was sacred. Every moment was touched by something greater than themselves. Let us drift now into the heart of their beliefs. Slowly, gently, as if we were floating down those ancient rivers ourselves. The Sumerians believed that in the beginning, there was only water. A vast, formless sea of primordial chaos. From this water emerged the first gods, beings of immense power who shaped the earth, the sky, and everything in between. The universe, they believed, was a living thing, filled with purpose and meaning. At the top of their divine family stood Anu, the god of the heavens. He was distant and majestic, like the sky itself, ever present but unreachable. Below him were his children, the great gods who governed the world. Among the most important was Enlil, the god of air and storms. Enlil was powerful and commanding. His breath was the wind that swept across the plains. His voice was the thunder that rolled through the heavens. The Sumerians revered him as the king of the gods, the one who decreed the fate of all things. And then there was Enki, the god of water and wisdom. Enki was different from his brother. Where Enlil was stern and forceful, Enki was clever and kind. He loved humanity. He gave them knowledge, taught them the arts of civilization, and protected them from harm. The Sumerians imagined him dwelling in a sacred underground ocean called the Abza, a place of mystery and creative power. When you think of Enki, think of cool, clear water, flowing gently, bringing life wherever it goes. Together, these gods formed a great pantheon, a family of divine beings who watched over every aspect of existence. There was Inanna, the radiant goddess of love and war, whose star was Venus, the brightest light in the evening sky. There was Nanna, the moon god, who sailed across the night in his glowing boat. There was Utu, the sun god, who brought justice and truth with every dawn. The Sumerians did not see their gods as distant or uncaring. They believed the divine was woven into daily life. Every sunrise was a blessing. Every harvest was a gift. And in return, they offered their gratitude, through prayer, through song, through gentle acts of devotion. Let your breathing slow now. Feel the weight of your body against the softness beneath you. Let us move deeper into this ancient world, into the sacred spaces where humans and gods met. The temples of Mesopotamia were not just buildings. They were homes for the gods, places where the divine presence could dwell on earth. Each city had its own patron deity, and at the center of every city stood a ziggurat, a great stepped tower rising toward the sky. These towers were mountains made by human hands, bridges between the earthly realm and the heavens above. Inside the temples, priests and priestesses performed rituals of care and devotion. They bathed the statues of the gods in fragrant water. They dressed them in fine garments. They offered them food and drink, bread, beer, dates, and honey. These offerings were not seen as transactions, but as acts of love. The people believed that by caring for the gods, they maintained harmony in the universe. Music played a central role in their worship. Harps, lyres, and drums filled the temple halls with soft, rhythmic sounds. Hymns were sung in gentle voices, praising the beauty and power of the divine. Imagine that music now. Slow and resonant, echoing through stone corridors, carrying prayers upward like incense smoke rising into the night. Festivals marked the turning of the seasons. The most important was the New Year festival, a celebration of renewal and rebirth. During this time, the king would participate in sacred rituals, reaffirming his bond with the gods and his duty to the people. It was a time of reflection, of letting go of the old, and welcoming the new with an open heart. Rest now in this vision of ancient ceremony. Let the images drift softly through your mind, like clouds passing slowly across a moonlit sky. The Sumerians were among the first people in history to write down their stories. They used a system called cuneiform, pressing wedge-shaped marks into soft clay tablets. These tablets have survived for thousands of years, carrying voices from the distant past into our present. Among their most treasured texts were the myths of the gods. The story of Enki and the world order describes how the wise god organized the universe, assigning every river, every field, every craft its proper place. The descent of Inanna tells of the goddess's journey into the underworld, a tale of death and rebirth that echoes through countless cultures. And then there is the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest stories ever written. It tells of a great king who searches for immortality, only to learn that true meaning is found in the connections we make, the kindness we show, the legacy of love we leave behind. The symbols of Mesopotamian religion were rich with meaning. The horned crown represented divine authority. The eight-pointed star belonged to Inanna, shining with beauty and power. Water, in all its forms, symbolized wisdom, life, and the creative force of Enki. These images were carved into seals and sculptures, pressed into clay, woven into the fabric of daily existence. Feel yourself drifting now, carried by these ancient symbols, by stories older than memory. Let them settle around you like a warm blanket, comforting and familiar. The gods of Mesopotamia may seem distant to us now, but their influence flows quietly through the currents of history. The stories the Sumerians told shaped the myths of later civilizations, the Babylonians, the Assyrians, and beyond. Echoes of their flood narratives appear in traditions around the world. Their understanding of the cosmos influenced the development of astronomy and astrology. Their legal codes inspired the foundations of justice. Today, scholars and dreamers alike continue to study these ancient texts, finding wisdom in their words. The Sumerian vision of a living, sacred universe resonates with those who seek meaning beyond the material world. In a time when we often feel disconnected, their belief in the interconnection of all things offers a gentle reminder that we are part of something vast, something beautiful, something enduring. Even now, as you rest in the quiet of this moment, you are connected to those ancient people who looked up at the stars and wondered. The same moon that lit their temples lights your window tonight. The same quiet longing for peace and understanding lives within your heart. And so we come to the end of our journey. Let the images of ancient Mesopotamia fade softly now, like the last light of sunset slipping below the horizon. Let the names of the gods drift away, Enlil, Enki, Inanna, Anu, becoming whispers, becoming silence. You are safe. You are at peace. The rivers of time flow gently around you, carrying you toward rest. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be. Only this breath, only this moment, only the soft, endless embrace of sleep. Good night.